Nicodemus here. Today, just wanted to jump right into the course and ask about the introduction and how did Helen start to scribe the course?
It's a great story actually, and I always recommend to people to, read Helen's, biography that she wrote. First of all, she was a phenomenal writer, very brilliant, and the how the scribing of the course came about, it wasn't this just whim moment. It's not like the heavens parted, she heard a voice. I think a lot of people think it was like that, and it actually was. If you look back, you could in some ways see that Jesus was part of her journey, and since very early on, she was very drawn to Christianity, being raised Jewish, was very drawn to Christianity, and when she was raised Jewish, she wasn't like, deeply raised Jewish, it wasn't like that. She actually didn't even know what her religion was, she had to go home and ask her parents, but she was very fascinated with Christianity, Catholicism. She even went and became member of one of the churches in Manhattan, and you start to see through her life, there was these key moments where she was being guided, which I think is so great for all of us because really we've been communicated, the Holy Spirit's been communicating to us since the beginning. Now, if that's a relationship with Jesus for you, it might not be. Some people might not resonate with the idea of Jesus, let's say. For others, maybe they resonate with God or the Holy Spirit in a certain way for them. With Helen specifically, a couple key things that were interesting for her. Number one, they had a lot of conflict in the department, and Helen, in therapy herself as a therapist, one of the interesting things she said is she always got this sense, I think it was the back left, that somebody was on her left side all the time, like here, but you couldn't see them. It was like a brother, that kind of feeling. So she would talk to her therapist, and I always feel like there's someone behind me. And as when she started to scribe the course, she realized it was Jesus all along. Now, it didn't start as like hearing a voice at first. It started with like a feeling, intuition. The psychic thing started happening to her. She would hear like a go there, do this, or something that was not normal for her, especially as a classically trained Freudian psychologist. Now, by the time she went to scribe, which was in 1965, in the summer of 1965, she started to have these visions, psychic dreams that were happening. There's a fascinating well, maybe we'll do another, video on the Lutheran church that she had a dream of. It was really a psychic premonition about this Lutheran church, and, she swears that they were gonna go see this Lutheran church, and they would go into the Meyer Clinic, and she just was so certain about this premonition, and right when they were leaving, I mean, she even asked the taxi driver, like, "Where's the Lutheran church?" And they were, "What are you talking about?" And right where when they were leaving, Bill Thetford shows her a picture and goes, "Here's your Lutheran church," and it turned out the Meyer Clinic they were visiting used to be a Lutheran church, and she was like, this is very out of the norm for her, obviously, as a Freudian a psychologist at Columbia University. She was a militant atheist. She didn't have one paranormal or what do you wanna call woo-woo boat in her body. Eventually, it gets clear as day, this is A Course in Miracles, take notes. So the introduction, this is A Course in Miracles. This is how it all starts. And really this introduction sums the whole course up. And in the beginning, I thought it sounded somewhat cool, but now when it says this course could therefore be summed up, this to me is the litmus test for all truth. This line, these lines, and I'll get to it. I'll read it. It says, "This is A Course in Miracles. It's a required course. It's required. It's not." It says only the time you take it's voluntary. Now, does that mean this A Course in Miracles is required? No, it means what the course teaches is required. Whether you come to it through this book or you come to it through another he actually says there's no path in the end that doesn't lead to God if you're sincere. Some of the greatest teachers of this, some of the greatest teachers of God never studied the course. So it's not that this itself is the required course, it's what this teaches, it's required. There's no way around it. Why? What does it teach? God, surrender to God, love your neighbors yourself, don't chase after illusions, use time as a means to regain your eternal nature. Required course. So it's a required course, only the time you take it's voluntary. Free will, I love this line, does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. Just because you and I have free will, we don't get to establish the curriculum. Part of the curriculum, really simple, only two teachers. Only two teachers to choose from, and you're going to choose. You can't get out of it. You always choose one at the expense of the other, and whichever one you choose, you'll teach to the world, and the world will witness back to you to show you which teacher you chose. That's the law. You don't modify that, and thank God we can't modify that. Because let me tell you, if it was up to us, there'd be like thousands of things to choose from. Because the ego loves complexity. Because why? The ego's motto: seek but do not find. Thank God there's only two choices. And in the end, there's really only one choice because there's only a choice for God in the end. Choosing between everything and nothing isn't really your choice. Choosing between reality and illusions isn't really a choice. It only seems like it's a choice for you and I now because of the game that we're in and the state that we're in. So he says free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can erect what you want to take at a given time. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. So it doesn't aim at teaching us the meaning of love. What he's saying in the course is that for that's beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. So the whole course is designed to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is our early problem, if you will, is that we have blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is really God, which is God is love. This love, and it's not like the love like we see in Hollywood movies and I love my wife today, which I do love my wife greatly. This type of love, which he's going to go on to say is even almost it's beyond what we can really understand. We get glimpses of it in this world. He says it does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all encompassing can have no opposite. So, what is all encompassing, God, eternity has no opposite. In this game, though, the way it is for you and I, there seems to the opposite. So, there's love, which is the opposite of fear. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all encompassing can have no opposites. So you and I are set up between love and fear. Now, and we get to learn to choose which one we want. The whole course is literally teaching us to choose what we actually want and to let go of what we don't want. He goes on, he says, the course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. That which is reality cannot be threatened by anything that's illusions. So he says, nothing real that's real can be threatened by anything. That means what you truly are cannot be threatened by anything except through your thoughts, which obviously the course goes on to teach us. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. So if nothing real can be threatened, anything that is unreal, that attempts to try to threaten what's real is all an illusion. Herein lies the peace of God. So it's really simple. Seek reality and let go of everything that's not reality because it doesn't exist. And all of our suffering and all of our struggle comes from trying to make what is not reality, reality. And to really, we do it with the world and we also do it with ourselves. You're not that body that, as Ram Dass would call it, a meat suit. We're not that. We're an eternal being that is playing with this, like wearing the shirt. But this is not what we are. The world you see is appearances and nothing that happens to you. So nothing in the world could add to you and nothing in the world could take away from you. Anything that attempts to threaten us is all an illusion and does not exist. And when we train our minds to seek out God and to seek out reality, and we start to realize that nothing real can be threatened. We're no longer deceived by appearances or by our thoughts about the world, and we're at peace. Herein lies the peace of God. So it must be practice for us every day. Every day gets to be devoted to miracles because we've forgotten so deeply. Now we have a whole process of remembering. And that's what the Course teaches.